guys, it's me, Sergeant Pepper, here today with a video on Farming Simulator 22. The purpose of this video is going to be to answer one of the most asked questions I get whenever I'm playing and streaming Farming Simulator 22. Is the game worth the buy? It's a very good question, and I'm going to try and quickly answer that and show you guys all the different things that Farming Simulator 22 has to offer, and how this might even compare to Farming Simulator 19. Some of the new features, guys. Just a quick sort of rundown of what you can expect in Farming Simulator 2 right out of the box compared to 19. So, perhaps one of the most obvious new additions in my mind, the seasons. Seasons are now integrated into the base game. You can choose to turn them on and off. You can choose how long each season lasts and all kinds of other good stuff. But yes, we no longer have to wait for a mod to do seasons. For those of you who are familiar with the Seasons mod from 19, this one is a little bit different. Maybe a little bit more simple. I don't know if simple is even the right word. I'm a big fan of the Seasons mod. It adds a lot of really cool, dynamic feeling to the gameplay. It really changes up the way that you farm, because now you can only do certain activities in certain seasons. If we take a look at the in-game calendar, the crop calendar, you can see all the different green planting and yellow or orange harvesting seasons. So every crop sort of has its own, you know, some crops having very long planting seasons, others having very short, and same with the harvesting. So that's pretty cool. Really like that. The seasons mod also comes with, you know, obviously, you know, different weather in different seasons. It'll snow in winter. It'll be hot during the summer. So in addition to the seasons, they have also changed up the way that we handle field states. So fields now have a lot more field states. We'll go take a look at some of the fields, and I'll just even show you up on the map here real quick. So, for you guys that are totally new to Farming Simulator, you probably won't know this, but for all of you guys who have been playing the previous Farming Simulators, a lot of this is going to look very similar. It is very similar. But you will notice that there's a few new states in here: stubble tillage, seed bed, and I think that's basically it. There's sort of this like plowed state here. I guess that was kind of sort of included in the previous game as well. There is another, you know, needs rolling and mulch. So you can see stones, you know, there's a bunch of new field states, which is really cool. It makes working the fields, you know, a little more interesting. You're not just going straight from, like, you know, harvest to fertilize to sow to grow to harvest. There's a little bit more in between, especially if you do have the seasons running. You kind of have to wait for your planting season and such to come up. That is actually really cool. And even since Farming Simulator 22 is released, they've been changing things with how the field mechanics actually work. It's a whole lot of cool stuff. I'm just gonna kind of briefly try to skim over it to give you guys an idea, but this is something you'll have to get used to when you actually start playing the game for yourself. So a lot is the same. You will harvest your crop just as you would. We got some corn just down here on this field. Once it's harvested, you will be left with the normal, you know, this is just like it was in the previous games, just a harvested field. So being that this is corn, it is going to need to be plowed every time. So you will have to plow this field. You then could fertilize it. After that, you will sow your new crop on there. You can then roll your fields after you plant for an additional bonus and fertilize on top of that. You'll also have to weed later if you have weeds turned on. There are some crops, though, that you can actually even mulch your fields with using mulchers. Mulchers is not something I've done a whole ton of, except with the new crops. There are some new crops in Farming Simulator 22. Those two new crops would be, well, one is grapes, and the other is olives. So grapes, growing on grapevines, as you'd imagine. Excuse our grapevines here, they're a little bugged. And then the olive trees, you know, little olive bushes, they look more like bushes to me, but I guess they're technically trees. So you mulch between your rows here. This grass grows between the rows of vines, and you use a little mulcher to mulch that. I guess it takes all of the grass and the clippings from the vines and works it back into the soil, gives you a little bit more of a yield bonus. So yeah, the yield bonuses and such in the game now are much more detailed than they were in the previous. So that's all really cool and mostly new to 22. A lot of this stuff was included in 19 if you played on PC with a lot of mods. But for all of you guys who either haven't played the game before or only played it on console, a lot of this is brand new stuff, and this is all in the default game, all this stuff. It is worth noting that I am playing on a dedicated multiplayer server. This map that we are on here is actually a modded map. Very cool map, been playing it for a couple of weeks now. The map name is called Kusela. We'll include a link to this map so you guys can check it out. Finnish no man's land, that's what I like to call it. It's a very nice map. We have some other mods in here as well, just, you know, little things for quality of life and such. Most of what I've been showing you guys here is, in fact, default included in the game content, which is just fantastic. So, another big notable addition to the game. Vanilla content, production chains. You have all this whole menu here. This menu, it's different than 19. For all you players coming from 19, you are gonna take some time getting used to this. This is this menu is a bit, it's mostly the same. Like, a lot of it's really very similar, but some of it's quite new, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. Once you do get used to it, though, it's very nice, really good menu. Absolutely love it. So this lime production, this is actually a modded production. Very cool, though. You can take your stones, turn it into lime. Definitely recommend that. Now you got the biogas plant. You'll remember that from the previous Farm and Sims 2. Not too much different there. The biogas plant will now take cut sugar beet, which I think is new and pretty cool. You got the sawmill. Again, this is all vanilla. The only thing modded here would be the lime production. Everything else is included in the base game. So the sawmill is really cool, gives you something to do with the logs. So logging is still in the game, of course, very much the same as to how it was in 15, but now you can actually take your logs somewhere other than just a sell at the sawmill. Now you can give them to the sawmill, you can own the sawmill and produce planks as well as wood chips. You can produce wood chips as well, so that is pretty cool. You can further then take your planks and your wood to carpentry and process it into furniture. Look at that furniture, guys. This is a little taste of what you can do with production chains. It's a very simple two-step production chain, but this will make the logs you cut actually worth so much more money. Now, it takes a little bit of time and money to do this because you must have access to the buildings. You've got to pay for that. You can build them yourself in the building menu, or buy them on the map. Yeah, once you provide them with the required materials, they will just start producing. So almost everything to do with production produces pallets. So it's basically pallet simulator with the production chains. You can choose to have them auto sell, however, you do get more money for shipping the pallets and transporting them around yourself. So lots of pallets, worth lots of money, very great. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm not gonna be able to go through everything because there are so many production chains, I couldn't even go through them all, but you can make cakes and oils, you can make clothes and dairy products, like cereal, you know, anything you'd imagine making on a farm, you can make with these production chains, and they are so super cool. Another great thing that Farm Simulator 22 has added is two brand new maps. You've got Haut-Beyleron, the France farming map, perfect for vineyards, by the way. And then Elmcreek, a good, nice, big, flat USA map. Both spectacular maps. They have a bunch of the production chains already placed down on the map. When you look around the map, you can see them. This map, however, being that it's sort of a no man's land kind of map, it's making you build the buildings yourself. Which leads me to another cool, let's say revised feature, because the building menu was in 19, but they've revised it, they've changed it, and made it a lot better, So yeah, see here, you can see the bakery. This is where you can make your cakes and breads. You got your carpentry, dairy, grain mill, spinnery, sugar, tailor, cereal, oil, grape processing. So many great things, guys. So many great things. So the building menu is much overhauled, much simpler, much more usable, very, very nice. Really easy to place stuff. We actually have a little mod on for place anywhere, so that makes the placements a lot less picky. You can place stuff on top of stuff, inside stuff, whatever. This is very nice for the aesthetic level of building. But even default, they've done a bunch of things like fences. You can now just like click and drag fences and all kinds of other great quality of lives included with the building menu. So definitely check that out when you're trying the game. Definitely recommend you guys taking some time to landscape and construct your own farm. It's a really fun part of the game, if you ask me. Like, if you take a look at this map, this is basically what the map looks like when you get here. It's just a lot of pine trees. You got some dirt roads in there. You got some of these little, you know. But since we've been playing on here for weeks, we've been, you know, working the land, clearing out the trees, making some big fields, putting in some of the, you know, deciduous trees that change colors and such. Look at this. This biogas is all handmade. This is all hand placed. I didn't build it myself. This was built by Fragged, but look at the awesome job he did on it. Look at that. You could tell somebody this was included with the map, and they'd be like, yeah, I believe that. Looks good. Also in 22, you know, they've added a bunch of new vehicles and brands and stuff. So new brands, new vehicles to check out. All, like, authentic, you know, modeled after their real-life counterparts. Absolutely fantastic looking. We do have a couple of modded vehicle pieces, but 99% of what you're going to be seeing here is, in fact, vanilla vehicle stuff. In fact, you'll probably recognize a lot of these vehicles from the previous game. A lot of the vehicles have come over from the previous game, but there are a lot of cool new ones you guys will enjoy checking out. Crossplay multiplayer. Farming Simulator 19 had crossplay between Windows and Mac. However, the crossplay was not available for the consoles. In Farming Simulator 22, you can now crossplay with consoles. It is an option for the game. The only limitation is mods. This server, for instance, is not going to be crossplay compatible. We do have the guidance steering mod on, which is not compatible with consoles, sadly. But sparing incompatible mods, you can fully play PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Everybody can play together now, all on the same server, no problems. So that's a really cool new addition. That's going to be huge for, you know, friends and families who play together, but, you know, you're separated by your platforms now. That's not going to be a barrier, and you guys, if you both have a copy of the game, you'll be able to play together with no issues. The multiplayer's, you know, roughly the same. The game's built on the same engine, you know, 16-player servers and all that stuff. So a lot of you veterans of the series, you know, you'll find a lot of familiar ground in here. It's definitely been very improved. There's still some problems with the multiplayer, and the sync can get a little bit slow with the massive amounts of land editing. Things can get a little weird, but since the release of the game, the development's been good. The patches have been awesome. It is getting better and better and better every patch. So I expect before too long, this whole thing will be running completely flawlessly. And yeah, I think the last thing I'm gonna show you guys is just all the graphical and sound improvements. So I'm gonna quiet down for the last couple minutes of this video and just give you guys a little show. I'll show you guys the robot cow feeder, and just take a really good look and listen at all the scenery and machinery. It is some of my favorite stuff. All the tractors, they come with like proper manual transmission options and stuff now, so the driving's way better. The ground is very reactive. There's so much included in the base game of 22 that you needed so many mods for in 19. That is what makes me like the game the most. So, you guys decide for yourself if it's going to be worth the buy. But, honestly, I think you're going to have a hard time saying no to Farm Simulator 22. It is a very, very good-looking game. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and join us in the streams, man. Come and join us on this farm. We'd love to have you on over. And I'll see you guys on the next one.